Trump just unleashed his army on special mission after Obama's Muslim refugee attacked in his home city. The religion of peace struck again last night after a psychotic Muslim drove his rented van into a crowd of joggers and cyclists in New York City near Ground Zero, killing 8 and injuring more than a dozen. The man screamed Allahu Akbar after finishing his deeds for Allah, where police took him into custody after shooting him in the leg. Anytime there was ever a terror attack perpetrated by Muslims, Barack Hussein Obama was always out in full force with his pandering antics, refusing to even mention the word Islam. ISIS was able to gain a devastating foothold in our country, as Obama continued to allow unvetted individuals to continue to pour through our border, demonizing anyone who wanted to fix our southern border as brown-hating bigots. Thankfully, the days of being ruled by a terrorist-loving president are over. President Trump's response to last night's terror attack is further proof of what an incredible leader we have, as he gives zero craps about who he offends with his steadfast resolve to make our country safe again. Immediately after news came in of the attack, President Trump wasn't interested in mere platitudes and empty words of condolences. After tweeting that we must not allow ISIS to return, or enter, our country after defeating them in the Middle East and elsewhere. Enough, Trump immediately put a plan into action to prevent this type of attack from happening again, and put a stop to Obama's fighters from continuing to gain a foothold in our country. President Trump later announced his new plan to defeat ISIS, where he's now putting new vetting procedures into place and instructing Homeland Security to tighten the screws on who is allowed to enter our country. He tweeted, "I have just ordered Homeland Security to step up our already extreme vetting program. Being politically correct is fine, but not for this. Our vetting process underneath Obama was a freaking joke. Hundreds of unvetted fighting-age males were able to come into our country completely undeterred, where these Middle Eastern migrants were flown in during the overnight hours so no one would even notice. Back in March, a woman who attended United Nations meetings regarding refugee resettlement in the United States risked everything to raise alarm bells on what Obama's immigrants had planned for U.S. neighborhoods. The information she had about the literal Muslim invasion of our country was incredibly disturbing, and proved that we are literally being taken over, thanks to the malicious actions of those at the highest levels of our government. The woman's identity in the following video is kept private due to the damning information she exposes about the hordes of terrorists being flown into America as we speak. She reveals that there is a blatant war on American sovereignty taking place, being orchestrated by Barack Hussein Obama, who continues to violate the law through by blocking President Trump's ban with judicial activism. Obama is secretly planting his Muslim foot soldiers in America, as thousands of these unvetted vermin continue to come to America under the guise of the refugee program. After attending many meetings with the United Nations Office of Refugee Monitoring, she was able to drop the following bombshell on the sickening invasion taking place in America. She reveals that not only are these individuals flown into America at night so they go under the radar, but that they're being thrown on a plane and flown into our country with absolutely zero vetting process. She notes that many of them have many highly contagious archaic diseases that were once eradicated from the United States, including leprosy, tuberculosis, smallpox, polio, and giardia. GOP The Daily Dose has more. She also dispels the propaganda that the invaders are primarily women and children, a tactic to pull on the heartstrings of the American people, stating the vast majority of refugees that we've received here in Missouri have been males, between the ages of 15 and upwards towards 40, 45 years old. Josh